Hey y'all, I'm Trez, and today I thought I would talk about hard drive and home electronics disposal. And I guess what triggered this conversation is got a phone call from a neighbor the other day, and they had a computer that they had used in a business, and it has some information on there that was confidential, and they didn't know what to do and how to dispose of it to make sure no data was there was not a data breach or nobody could get to the data on the hard drive. And so they called, and I told them, my what I do for myself is I said typically what I do is I take the hard drive out of a computer and I drill holes in it and a bunch of holes make it kind of look like Swiss cheese, and then I take the drive down to my local municipal recycling center that accepts electronic waste, and I dump it in a box full of hard drives in there, and they destroy it. And I feel comfortable with my data. But he had been before he retired, he had been a lawyer, and so they just were extra cautious about the data. I don't blame them, and so they asked me. I decided I'd do some research, and I told I would get back with them, today or tomorrow, and so yesterday afternoon, I decided to do some research. So first thing I did, I typed in data hard drive destruction near me, and it came up with a list of different people, and it had Staples and on there. So um, I called my local Staples store, and I said, I understand y'all do hard drive destruction. Um, what is the process? How do I just drop it by, or how does that work? And they said, well, I don't know what you're talking about exactly. Let me call a manager and I'll get right back with you. And, a couple minutes later, they got back and said, dear Mr. Sir, Mr. Trez, we don't do that. Sorry, wish we could help you, but we don't do that. And so I said, well, your website, internet says you do. She said, well, we don't. And the manager said we don't. So, um, I kind of was getting little started to get a little frustrated there. I said, my goodness. So anyway, I decided to call Office Depot. We have an Office Depot about a half a mile from the house, so I thought I'd call them. It'd be very convenient for me and for my neighbor. And so I called him on the phone and talked to the tech guy, and he said, no, we don't do that. And so I decided I would call Best Buy and ask them. So I got the number of my local Best Buy store and called them, and guess what? I got Best Buy's AI. I tried my darndest to get to a person. I pushed every button. I called back multiple times. I tried extensions. I tried the Geek Squad. I tried, you know, customer service, and I kept ended up back at their AI-driven call center, wherever that is, their computer in the sky. And it's kind of frustrating you can't get to somebody because you just want to ask a basic question. But the way the world is going, AI is coming real strong, and I'll talk more about it. But to me, AI just takes the personal touch totally out of it, and to me, most of the time, it's useless. Now, hopefully, you get a better experience with it. But for me, most of the time, it's absolutely just a frustrating, useless experience. And I used to sell phone systems, and you know, I sold the advantages of voicemail, and voicemail is just horrible. The auto attendant where nobody answers the phone anymore is just frustrating when it's the people calling, trying to talk to somebody. But anyway, I will try not to talk about that any longer. So anyway, I was kind of a little frustrated there, and so I decided to sleep on it. And this morning when I got up, I said, well, let me try and research it a little bit further. And I called my neighbor and said, this is what I have come up with. This is what I would do if you want me to help you drill holes in your hard drive. I'll be glad to. And but then I started thinking about it. I really just needed to research it more because there has to be a better answer than that. So I went back online and I researched data destruction, hard drives, Staples, and I came up with Staples does offer hard drive or electronics recycling. And what you do is you can buy a box from them, and I think their boxes were $14.49 or something like that, and for a small box. And when you order it online, they ship it to your house, and you put your stuff in it, and then it's a small box. Let's see if I can find the dimensions of Staples. Did it have? I don't have the dimensions on it. But they're small boxes, $14.49. But it's big, it's big enough to put a hard drive and a cell phone in or something like that. So you put your electronics in there, and then it has a return label, UPS. So you call UPS and arrange for them to come pick it up from your home, and they'll drop by, I guess, next time they're in the neighborhood, and pick it up, and then off it goes to Staples, whoever does Staples recycling, and they wipe the data clean, they destroy the drive, and my understanding is they will send you a letter letting you know confirmation that the box was delivered to the facilities and your data is safely destroyed. And so I felt good about that. So I know Staples gives you an option. You can't go into the store, but you can buy the box from Staples. And I'll leave a link to their website that is current as of today, which is May 19th of 26. It's not affiliate link or anything like that, but it'll be a link to Staples to at least get you there. And hopefully that link will stay active for a while. And so then I decided I would research with Office Depot. And I did the same research with Office Depot, and I finally got to their data destruction recycling box that you could buy. So they do offer that, but then it says no longer available. So they don't offer that service at all. And from what I could find anyway. And remember with Staples they have a small box, and then they have different size boxes, so you can get up to the larger boxes and get more stuff. So if you wanted to put your actual whole computer in a box, you can measure the box that they ship, and then measure your computer, make sure it'll fit in there. So you do have an option. It can be more than just a small box like a hard drive. So I was a little disappointed that Office Depot didn't have it. And then I decided I would call Shred 360. I went online and typed in hard drive destruction near me or something like that, and I got a whole list of companies. I called a couple companies, and got their offshore call centers, and they didn't know whether or not they did residential hard drive destruction or not. So they would have to get back with me, and they did get back with me and said, no, we don't offer residential services at this time. But I did go to Shred 360's website, and I had used Shred 360 where I worked before. We had them under contract. They came by either once a month or once a quarter, picked up all of our paper to be shredded, and then I think twice a year they would come by and pick up our hard drives, and they charged, I don't know what the fee was per drive, but so I knew they did it for commercial environments. But anyway, I called them on the phone, and actually I got somebody. I was very, very happy. And they answered the phone, and the girl said, "How can I make you smile today?" And she made me smile. I said, "You made me smile." And I told her what I was trying to do. And she said, "Yeah, sure. We do accept residential hard drives. We don't pick them up, but you can drive by our office and drop them off. And we charge, it was about $20 per drive. I don't know if there's a tax on that or not, but about $20 per drive for residential drives." And I thought that was great. They are about 45 minutes from my house, so it's not real convenient. But it is good to know somebody in my town offers residential hard drive destruction without having to ship it off. That was a relief, and I told her again that she made me smile, and I would try and pass that all along throughout my day. So that was a good deal. And then I thought I would research Best Buy one more time. And so I did the same research with Best Buy. I did find a web page that said they have their recycling programs. You can bring up to 3 items per household per day to your local Best Buy store. And again, this is what I got off their website today. And today is May 19th, 2026. And no more than 3 items per day per household. and it didn't show a fee on there, so I don't know if there's a charge or not. Don't know. But that's nice to know that you can take it by there and they will recycle your electronics, and they say that they will erase your data and destroy your hard drive, which is a great thing. They also offer those same boxes similar to what Staples has, where you can buy a box. Their small box is $22.99, and it is 9 by 5 by 3 inches, and it will hold up to 6 pounds of electronics. And so you buy the box, they ship it to you, you fill it up. It has a self-addressed prepaid UPS sticker on it, according to their website. And so you call UPS to schedule a pickup, or I don't know if you can drop it by a UPS store or not. Maybe so. You might have to drop it by a UPS shipment, so I'm not sure how that works. But that is a way to get rid of your electronics. And Best Buy also has larger boxes for larger electronics, and they have a policy there. You'll just have to read it about how they recycle televisions, because those, probably hard to get into a box. So some boxes anyway, but they do have a program for that, which I think is great, because one thing I did read about today in my research was that electronic waste is the number one waste stream in the world, according to one of the websites I looked at. So we know everybody goes for like electronics, and we just treat them like trash. But they do have rare earth elements on there. We want to make sure we recover the rare earth, recover any gold and silver that may be in the electronics, and we definitely don't want to pollute our the ground or water. So recycling it to responsible parties is a great way to go. So that is that's what I found out today about how to dispose of hard drives and how to dispose of electronic waste, household electronic waste in my town. Your town may have similar programs. Hopefully there's a Best Buy near you that does recycling, and hopefully Staples and Best Buy will also continue to have their boxes that you can purchase to pack and ship off your hard drives for disposal. So that is my was my experience in researching this information for one of my neighbors. And if you've gotten this far, I want to thank you for listening to my podcast, and I hope something good happens to you today. And I hope you smile today. I hope you have a great day.